Hello and welcome back. My name is Vlad, and in today's video I'm gonna be talking about whiskey from Bimber Distillery, straight from the London, single malt whiskey finished in stout beer casks. Sounds interesting? Hope you enjoy. I'm pretty sure my friends and viewers, you noticed that I'm talking about the Bimber whiskey quite often in the last time, because I start to discovering the whiskey from this distillery, and I need to say I'm quite surprised. Because this whiskey was underrated in some point because of the price, maybe. Most of the whiskey sounds quite expensive, and we all know that this whiskey is quite young as well. But the price, age statement is not always the point. In Scotland, we can find loads of different whiskies with no age statement. Also quite young whiskies, much more expensive than whiskey from Bimber, for example. And the people still buy it because it's good quality. That's the main point for us, the whiskey drinker, for whiskey geeks, for whiskey enthusiasts. That's the most important thing, quality of spirit. And in this case, I think this is quite high quality, with no doubts, to be honest, because this whiskey has been matured in ex-bourbon casks by 4 years, and then this whiskey been finished in ex-stout casks. Actually, there was no only one cask, there was a few casks, and if I'm right, there was a quite special process behind this, because the Bimber Distillery had some ex-bourbon casks which they put the spirit in this cask for some time, and when they decided to bottle this whiskey, they emptied the casks, and then they sent this cask over to the brew by number, the London brewery, quite small brewery, and they filled up this cask with them stout beer for some time, few months, maybe a little longer, have no idea, to be honest. And then when they bottle the beer, they send back all these casks to the Bimber Distillery, and then guys from the Bimber Distillery filled in these casks with 4 years old spirit from ex-bourbon casks and finished this whiskey in that ex-stout casks. Sounds maybe quite difficult and complicated, but it's not actually. So we've got ex-bourbon casks whiskey finished in ex-stout casks. Yeah, so in this case, of course, this is special release number 3 for the Klub members club, the Bimber members club. Only 1650 bottles, 1650 bottles, whiskey bottled at 51.2% of ABV. As I said, no age statement whiskey, and of course non-chill filtered, no color added. Imperial Stout Casks been used for this one, for finish this whiskey. To be honest, I'm a big fan of the stout beers, and I could even say I'm drinking Guinness on the breakfast every day, but I'm drinking this beer after breakfast, to be honest. So I love stouts. I love Imperial Stouts, Russian Imperial Stouts. Here in England we have loads of different breweries making very nice stout beers, like Northern Monk, I think, and other few breweries which I'm a big fan of. Thornbridge Brewery, close to the White Pig Distillery in England. They're making awesome, really awesome beers, aged stouts. I tried one not long time ago. Due to the nice stout Finnish whiskey from the White Pig Distillery as well. That was nice experience too. So I'm gonna be reviewing this whiskey soon, but go back to the Bimber now. On the nose, you can be misled. This is definitely stout casks involved here. Straight away you've got that coffeeness, chocolate, loads of cocoa. There is some ex-bourbon casks influence here. You can smell that nice caramely notes, vanilla notes, that what we have mostly from the fresh oak, from the bourbon as well. And there is that kind of Bimber character, that fruitiness, which is peach, apricots, and apples. Some cloves maybe, slightly cinnamony notes. But definitely you can smell nice, beautiful stout beer in here. When you keep in nosing this whiskey, smelling this whiskey, that chocolatey notes start turning to some more dry aspect, like cocoa, like fresh brew espresso coffee. This is incredible on the nose, to be honest. This is really good one. Initially, that beautiful fruitiness, Bimber fruitiness, with this lovely caramely notes, that caramel, vanilla, and that very quick turns to the loads of milk chocolate, hot milk chocolate drink. As long as you're keeping this whiskey in the mouth, it starts slowly turning to the more dry, to more towards the stout beer. And then you've got that beautiful cocoa powder, that fresh roasted espresso coffee, dark chocolate, I would say, but still with that little touch of that bourbon and Bimber spirit sweetness. Very nice. But when you swallow, straight away, it starts changing beautifully towards that stout cask, stout beer. So it's going to that beautiful cocoa aspect with this nice fresh brew coffee, fresh roasted coffee. So it's getting drier and drier, but still your lips, your tongue is full of that ex-bourbon sweetness. This is really nice and beautifully complex whiskey. Really complex. From one side, Bimber character with that bourbon sweetness. From other side, lovely stout influence. And now the finish is long. Now it's going more towards that kind of, I would say, not walnut, but hazelnut. Slightly sweet hazelnut with that coffee, with that cocoa powder, with that toffee sweetness slightly covered the mouth in the finish. This is really good whiskey. And most of the time we just passing by the Bimber Distillery because whiskey sounds quite expensive. In this case, the cost of this bottle was something slightly over £70, which is not that bad in these times, to be honest. There is loads of new distilleries with the standard core releases more expensive than this one, to be honest. So the price is quite good for this one, especially we're talking about around 5 years old whiskey, so it's not that young, it's not 3 years old whiskey. And there is some quite special, is beer finish, stout finish whiskey, which for me is really, really nice whiskey, definitely. I love stouts, I love whiskey in somehow connected with the stout beer. So this bottle, I can tell you now, this bottle going to my list of top 10 2023, definitely, because I love this bottle, I love this whiskey. Thank you very much for watching this video, guys. Thank you very much for your time, for your support, for your subscriptions, thumbs ups and comments. Feel free to carry on with this, please. And just remember one important thing. Take care about yourselves, about your families. Drink your whiskeys, enjoy your life, and see you soon. Bye.